Hi, my dear students. Good morning to all. Welcome to Maths online class. When we were discussing on divisibility of numbers, we discussed only the divisibility rule up to 11. What happens when we get a larger number? How can we apply? We can use the divisibility rule of these smaller numbers in finding the divisibility of larger numbers. For that, we have to know some more divisibility rules. We can discuss that in today's class with some example questions. First, if a number is divisible by another number, then it is divisible by each of its factors. What do you mean by this? We can explain this with an example, then it will be clear for you. For example, 24 is divisible by 8. Isn't it? 24 is divisible by 8. In the multiplication table of 8, we can see 24. So, from that we can say 24 is divisible by 8. Now, what does this rule means? What is the factors of 8? The factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4 and 8. Only these factors before 8, isn't it? 1 into 8, 2 into 4. Now, if 24 is divisible by 8, then by this rule we can say 24 is also divisible by 1, 2 and 4. Why? If a number is divisible by another number, then it is divisible by each of its factors. So, if 24 is divisible by 8, then 24 must be divisible by the factors of 8 also. So, what are the factors of 8? Factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4 and 8. So, by applying this rule, we can say that 24 is also divisible by 1, 2 and 4. If you are checking, you can say that 24 is an even number, isn't it? So, you can say 24 is divisible by 2. Now, we can see 24 in fourth table, isn't it? 4 into 6. So, there also you can say 24 is divisible by 4. Now, 1, every number is a factor for 1. 1 is a factor for every number. So, it is divisible by 1 also. Next, if a number is divisible by two co-prime numbers, then it is divisible by their product also. So, what do you mean by co-prime numbers? Yes, if two numbers are having common factors, one only, then the two numbers are said to be co-prime. So, if a number is divisible by two co-prime numbers, then it is divisible by their product also. So, what does it mean? Look an example. 80 is divisible by both 4 and 5. How will you check whether 80 is divisible by 4? Here when you are dividing 80, what you are getting with 4? 20. So, 80 is divisible by 4. Again, what is the divisibility rule of 5? Since this number is ending with 0, this number is divisible with 5. So, you understood 80 is divisible by both 4 and 5. According to this rule, and now check 4 and 5 are co-prime or not. How we will check co-prime? Is there any common factors between 4 and 5? Here 4 is a composite number and 5 is a prime number. So they will not have any other common factors other than 1. So you can say 4 and 5 are co-prime. Now, according to this rule, if 80 is divisible by 4 and 5, then we can say 80 is divisible by the product of 4 and 5. What is the product of 4 and 5? 4 into 5 we have 20. So we can say 80 is also divisible by 20. Here it is a smaller number, so you can clearly check it. Whether 80 will be there in 20's multiplication table? Yes, 20 into 4 is 80. This is the case of small numbers. If you are getting larger numbers, we cannot check the multiplication table. There you are applying these divisibility rules. So, if the two given numbers are co-prime and the number is divisible by the two co-prime numbers, then we can say that the number will be divisible by its product also. That is, it is divisible by both 4 and 5. Then you can say 80 will also be divisible by its product. 4 into 5, 20. Next one. If two given numbers are divisible by a number, then their sum is also divisible by that number. What does this rule say? We'll explain with an example. 20 and 16 are divisible by 4, isn't it? 20 and 16 are divisible by 4. So, according to this rule, the sum of 20 and 16 will also be divisible by 4. What is the sum of 20 and 16? 20 plus 16, 36. Is 36 divisible by 4? Yes, 36 is divisible by 4. You can check any two numbers by this. Take any two numbers and take a number which is divisible by both number. See, these two numbers should be divisible by the given number. Here 20 is divisible by 4. 16 is also divisible by 4. So, when you add these two numbers, their sum will also be divisible by its 4. So, if any two given numbers are divisible by a number, then their sum will also be divisible by the same number. Similarly, if two given numbers are divisible by a number, then their difference is also divisible by that number. So, in the earlier case, it was sum. Here it is difference. So, here check 36 and 30 is divisible by 6, isn't it? 36 is divisible by 6. 30 is also divisible by 6. Now, according to this rule, when I am subtracting 36 minus 30, what I am getting? 6. Whether 6 is divisible by 6? Yes. So, four extra rules regarding the divisibility rule we discussed. Now, we can solve some questions regarding these rules. First example, check if 25,110 is divisible by 45. Have you studied the divisibility rule of 45? No, we haven't studied a divisibility rule of 45. Then how can we check whether the given number 25,110 is divisible by 45? But 4 extra rules we studied, isn't it? So just check whether we can apply that rules in here. 45 can be factorized as what? What are the factors of 45? Take any two factors which we know. 9 into 5 is 45. Isn't it? 9 into 5 is 45. We have studied the divisibility rule of 9 and 5. So, if this number is divisible by both 9 and 5, then we can say it will be divisible by its product also. Isn't it? So, 45 we can write it as what? 9 into 5. Now, what are the factors of 9? 1, 3 and 9. What are the factors of 5? 1 and 5 only. Is there any common factors between 9 and 5? Only what? 1. So, what we can say about 9 and 5? They are co-prime. So, in order to check whether this number is divisible by 45, I am checking whether this number is divisible by 9 and 5. Why? You know that if a number is divisible by two co-prime numbers, then it will also be divisible by its product. Isn't it? 9 and 5 are co-prime. So, we are checking the divisibility rule of 9 and 5 for this number. So, what is the divisibility rule of 5? Is it divisible? 25,110 is divisible? Yes, it is divisible. Why? We have 0 in one's place. So, we got it is divisible by 5. Next, we are checking the divisibility of 9. How? Yes, by adding the digits. What are the digits here? 2, 5, 1, 1 and 0. And what you are getting the sum? 9. Is it a multiple of 9? Yes, of course, 9 is a multiple of 9. So we got 25,110 is divisible by 9 also. So we found that this number is divisible by both 9 and 5. Then by the divisibility rule we can say this number is also divisible by its product, that is 9 into 5, 45. Next one, 18 is divisible by both 2 and 3. Also, 18 is divisible by 2 into 3, 6. Isn't it? 18 is divisible by 2 and 18 is divisible by 3. Now, by applying that rule, we can say 18 is divisible by 2 into 3, 6 also. Now, if a number is divisible by 6 and 4, take any number, it is divisible by 6 and 4. Can we say all numbers will be divisible by 4 into 6? Can this same rule be applied here also? That means all the numbers which is divisible by both 6 and 4 is also divisible by the product 4 into 6 equal to 24. If this statement is correct, we have to prove it. If it is wrong, we have to give an example to justify our answer. What you think? Is this statement correct? That means if a number is divisible by both 6 and 4, then all numbers will be divisible by 4 into 6 also. For solving, I took some numbers and I am checking the divisibility. 4 by 4, 6 and the product of 4 and 6, 24. So first I took 48. 48 is divisible by 4, isn't it? Yes. Also 48 is divisible by 6 and also divisible by 24. So this is okay. 48 is divisible by what? 4, 6 and 24. Next I took 72. That is also divisible by 4, 6 and 24. Then 96 divisible by 4, 6 and 24. What about the number 12? It is divisible by 4. Also divisible by 6. But what happens when we check the divisibility by 24? Whether 12 is divisible by 24. My question is not 24, whether 24 is divisible by 12. It is whether 12 is divisible by 24. Here which is larger number? 25 is the larger number. So 12 will not be divisible by 24. So one example you got which is not satisfying this. Again I took 36. 4 is divisible, 36 is divisible by 4. Also 36 is divisible by 6. But whether 36 is divisible by 24? No. So again you got one more example. So what we can say from this? All numbers which are divisible by 4 and 6 need not be divisible by 6 into 4 equal to 24. That means the numbers which are divisible by 4 and 6 need not be divisible by its product 24 also. So, by today's class, I hope all of you understood how to apply the divisibility rule we know in finding the divisibility of larger numbers. Practice some more questions by yourself. When you are applying the divisibility rules, you should know the conditions properly. Hope all of you understood. Copy down the notes given, attend the test paper. We will discuss in the next video and another concept. Till then, bye. Thank you.